Tonight on WCVB News, we've received reports of a candy thief who is believed to have broken in Viz Key's candy store yesterday night after neighbors heard the sounds of a window shattering, followed by one eyewitness sight from the owner of a ball of orange flame exiting in a quick hurry into the shadows. Police are trying to find any sort of clues that can identify the thief, but the details are yet to be shown. We will now direct to our eyewitness statement.
So I was just in the back stocking up and checking inventory as usual before closing up the shop, and I heard glass shattering at the front of the store. I ran over to see what happened, and one of the windows was shattered, and for a second I saw what I thought was an orange flaming ball. It was unlike anything I had seen before, and I think it was startled by me because it disappeared as quickly as it showed up.
We'll make sure to come back to that story once we are given further updates. In other news, ABC News will be playing a Halloween special tonight and tomorrow, just before the kids are out trick-or-treating. Up next on our top stories tonight are...
This is a message from the Moonbright Office of Public Instruction and the Moonbright Town Law Enforcement. Thomas Redden, a 7-year-old boy, has been reported missing since October 23, 1984. He was last seen playing around Maple Creek Park. Thomas Redden stands approximately 4 feet, 2 inches tall with light blonde hair, green eyes, and a slim build. He was wearing a purple t-shirt with a flaming jack-o'-lantern and brown shorts at the time of his disappearance. Witnesses in the vicinity reported Thomas was playing alone on a nearby seesaw while his mother was chatting with a friend before Thomas disappeared. Authorities urge anyone with information or who might have witnessed any suspicious activities to come forward ASAP. Please exercise caution and avoid interacting with any individuals displaying suspicious behavior.
Hiya, kids. It's me, Parker the Pumpkin. Halloween can be a very fun night, having to stay up and eat a lot of candy. However, scary things can happen to you, your friends, or family if you aren't careful. So, that's why I'm here to give you and your family safety tips this year for Halloween. We'll start off with the do's and don'ts of Halloween costumes. The first thing you should know about costume making is that it's always good to have a light costume instead of a heavy one. You never know if you'll trip or fall, so make sure your costume is easy to wear without much restriction. The next thing your costume should have is a mask that you can see out of. It'll be dark around you and others, so being able to see is important. If you can't afford a mask or can't make one for your costume, ask your parents or guardian for makeup instead. And finally, for costume safety tips, make sure that your costume has something shiny or reflective so that people can see you when crossing the street. Next set of rules I should mention are the rules for trick-or-treating. It's the best part of Halloween, but it's also the most dangerous aside from costume making. So let's go over these simple rules. It's gonna be dark out on Halloween, and you're gonna want to make sure to see where you're going. So it's important to bring a flashlight or glow stick with you to carry while walking around. When you go up to someone's house, it's always important to knock and say, "Trick or treat," only once. If they don't respond, don't bother them. The homeowner might not be home or wanting to celebrate Halloween, and that's okay. Another rule you want to follow going door to door for candy is never to go inside a person's house. If a person invites you into their house after getting candy, politely decline and walk away. Don't accept candy from strangers that aren't in their houses either. And finally, the last rule is when you go home to check your candy, make sure to toss out anything that's unwrapped or doesn't look right. You don't want your fun to be ruined by a candy bar tampered with or an apple gone bad. One more rule for the parents. Make sure to set curfew times for your child so that they don't stay out late at night. You never know what could happen while your child's out trick-or-treating tonight. Well, that's it for this year's Halloween safety PSA from me, Parker the Pumpkin. I hope that every kid out tonight has a safe Halloween and have fun!
What? What do you mean, my daughter? No, she can't be. Please, tell me you're joking, please. Where is she? Where is my daughter? Where did she go? Who took her? Where is my daughter?
This is a message from the Moonbright Office of Public Instruction and the Moonbright Town Law Enforcement. At 6:45 p.m., police were called to multiple locations after witnesses reported children disappearing after jumping through leaf piles that were not present before. While the whereabouts of the missing children are currently unknown, it is believed that these leaf piles are potential traps created by child kidnappers. It is heavily recommended to stay away from any leaf piles outside whether they are raked by city cleaners or not. Please contact the police if any of the following children are seen.
brought the fall, haven't you?